on our 17th step towards Krishna and learn how to step forward, that is, stepping forward, overcoming the obstacles. Ever seen a car crash? Drivers collide at full speed. One car carries off the motorway, flipping over 3 times in the process. Within minutes, the road is swarming with police, ambulance, and fire engines. A horrific sight. Life can sometimes change its course in very sudden ways. We have all experienced those severe and dreamlike moments. A car accident, a death of a loved one, a misfortune, or some unexpected news. In a short moment, everything changes. Our plans fly out through window and we are left completely disoriented. What next? As reality sets in, a common natural reaction is anger and frustration. Once Mahatma Gandhi and his friend jostled into a crowded Indian carriage. As the train departed, Gandhi suddenly looked down and realized he only had one slipper on. He and his friend peered out the doorway and saw the other slipper lying on the platform. Gandhi smiled. He then took off his slipper and hurled it down the platform, where it perfectly met its pair. He offered an explanation to his confused friend. Keeping the slipper would have frustrated me, and whoever found the other slipper would have been similarly annoyed. Now I can forget the incident and move on, and someone else can benefit from free footwear. There are 2 very important lessons to learn here. Whenever we face some reversal in our life, we have to come to a level of acceptance as soon as possible. And secondly, we have to move forward with positivity and optimism. Our comic reactions are designed to educate us without permanently damaging us. The soul is ultimately beyond the body and mind, and never becomes scared by the misfortune of this world. This is not meant to minimize people's suffering or point fingers at them, but rather help us approach life's challenges with a deeper perspective in mind. History is full of stories where seemingly negative events intrude into the life of a sincere devotee. We may conclude that God is heartless and cruel. We might even decide to denounce the theistic path. But if we did so, our premature judgment of Lord's character would cheat us out of witnessing how expertly He uses material reverses and difficulties to bring about a glorious conclusion in the life of His faithful servants. In hard times, we can contemplate philosophical wisdom and try to broaden our vision beyond the immediate pain and disappointment. The association of fellow devotees is essential, since they can give us balance to and kind-hearted perspective to our own emotional struggle. With time, we will also accumulate a wealth of experiences. Thus, we can learn the art of stepping forward even in the most difficult of times. As they say, you can't direct the wind, but you can adjust the sails of your life.
Krishna empowers his exalted devotees. This is a saying that we often hear in devotional circles. What does empowerment actually mean? And who all can become empowered? Sometimes we may think of empowerment as something very special, something very esoteric. Something when a devotee is empowered, whatever obstacles come, all the obstacles come and the obstacles just disappear and the devotee marches ahead towards victory and glory. So that means whatever obstacles are coming, whatever problems are coming, Krishna by something like a magic, blowing of a magic wand just causes the obstacles to disappear. We may think of empowerment to be like that. However, the essence of empowerment is not external, it is internal. Yes, externally also Krishna may do some miraculous things, and sometimes there may be some people who may be very problematic in doing some service. They may be creating trouble, and suddenly their heart may change, or they may get transferred somewhere else, or some things like that can happen in devotee's life. But that is not the essence of empowerment. Because if we think that is the essence, then we will get locked in that outer expectation, and we will not focus on the inner transformation that can make us empowered. So what does this mean? That means Krishna transforms us, makes us internally determined, and that is the essence of empowerment. What defines empowered devotees is not that wherever they go the obstacles disappear. It is that wherever they go, whatever the obstacles be there, they persevere longer than the obstacles, and then the obstacles fall away, and then they move forward. So the Bhagavad Gita points to this in two verses in 9th chapter, 9.13 and 9.14, which respectively describe the inner realizations and the outer actions of the devotee. So 9.13 says, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritamashritah bhajantyananya manaso gyatva bhutadimamyayam. So Mahatmanastu mam partha, Krishna called these devotees are Mahatma. And what do? Daivim prakritima ashritaha. They have taken shelter of my divine nature. And then bhajanti ananya manaso, without any deviation of the mind, bhajanti, they one-pointedly worship him. Gyatva bhutadimamyayam, they know me to be the source of everyone, to be imperishable. So they know there is no higher reality beyond me. That's why they stay fixed on me. But significantly, Krishna is saying, Daivim prakritima ashritaha. They take shelter of my divine nature. Now this divine nature is the source of all empowerment. So this means that because they are sheltered us, they will be empowered. And yet, what does the next verse which describes their outer actions say? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya drudhavrataha namasyantasya mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Satatam kirtayanto mam. They are always chanting my glories. And then yatantasya drudhavrataha, yatanta, they endeavor. How? Vrataha, they take vows, and drudha is determined. All these words, when do we take vows? When do we require determination? When do we require endeavoring? When there are obstacles. So, if something is easy to do, I will eat food today. I don't have to take a vow for that. So, that means that there are obstacles and they endeavor determinedly with vows to overcome those obstacles. So, if they are empowered, how are obstacles present? In fact, because they are living in the world, in this material world, and they are trying to serve Krishna here, the material world inevitably creates obstacles for everyone. Whether they are devotees or they are non-devotees, whether they are advanced devotees or neophyte devotees. In fact, for us the obstacles may be more because of our own distractions and attachments. For advanced devotees, the obstacles may be because they have such huge aspirations for serving Krishna that they take up far greater challenges than us. So Prabhupada, he could have lived peacefully in Vrindavan, but what did he do? He went to America at an advanced stage and took up so many obstacles. And it was not that when Prabhupada went to America, all obstacles disappeared. No, he persevered amidst all the obstacles. And that was the essence of Prabhupada's empowerment. So they persevere. Sometimes in old movie renditions of the Mahabharata Ramayana, we may see two opponents are fighting. So one sends an arrow, the other sends an arrow, and both arrows collide. And whoever is more powerful, the other person's arrow disappears and this arrow moves on. So similarly, our determination is there and obstacles are there. So often when the obstacles and our determination collide, then often our determination perishes. and then we just become disheartened. But empowerment means not that the obstacle disappears. Obstacle may remain, but the collision also goes on. And then, because of the persistence, perseverance, determination of the devotee, the obstacle falls. And the devotee moves on. So that means persistence amidst obstacles. So that is the defining characteristic of a devotee. And that is of an empowered devotee. And that is the essence of empowerment. Now, how do they continue on like this when they face such obstacles? Now, that is described in Ananya Manaso. They focus on Krishna, knowing that He is the highest reality, that He unfailingly, unflinchingly loves me, that He is there in my heart, He is waiting for me, and this is the way I can serve Him. So understanding this inspires the advanced devotees to stay fixed and to persevere in serving Krishna no matter what happens. And that is that inner meditation and the resulting inspiration that comes, that is from Krishna, that is the key to their empowerment. So empowerment, when understood thus, becomes universally accessible. Now, it is not some mystical illumination. One day I was just sitting and I saw some light inside and everything became clear what I wanted to do. My whole life became crystal clear, how the path became clear. Or some surreal electrification. My spiritual master came and touched me on my head, and then I felt electricity going through my body. And now I have become an empowered devotee. Nothing like that. Empowerment is a practical connection with Krishna, practical devotional connection with Krishna. This connection is through inner meditation and outer action. So inner devotion, outer service. That's how devotional service is there. So now, we all can, in our own small ways, whenever we face obstacles, we try to contemplate. Krishna still exists in my heart, and Krishna still loves me. And I can show Him my intention, my aspiration to serve Him, even in the presence of these obstacles. And by so doing, then we can get inspiration. As we can get inspiration, we can also march forward. And when we keep marching thus, gradually we'll find levels of strength and layers of strength that we didn't even know we possessed earlier. And with those we can march forward, upward and onwards, ultimately overcoming all obstacles. We will, as we meditate on Krishna, when we turn towards Krishna, we open our heart to Him. And Krishna floods us with realizations of His love. And as compared to the glory of His love, and the reality of that love, the external realities become very small. There will be the inimical reality. The inimical means hostile realities. They become inconsequential. As compared to Krishna's reality, this is nothing. Let me just keep persevering on. And then we march undaunted. Ultimately, through whatever obstacle life may send, we march onwards towards Krishna.